right, so yesterday I was making some videos, and I made a video about like the Russ and Azalea Banks thing. I made a video about some other shit. But then today, yeah, Juice WRLD versus Sting. That seemed interesting yesterday. Well, guess what? Doesn't seem very interesting anymore because it's official. It's going down. The 6ix9ine shit has officially gotten about as crazy as we could expect it to get. So yesterday, if you pay any attention to Dom is Live's channel, which I want to shout out, Dom is Live does very, very good investigative reporting into stuff that's going on in the hip-hop world. Well, yesterday, Dom is Live came out with a story about the idea that perhaps 6ix9ine had assaulted his baby mama, Sarah, and was basically just like going into a bunch of detail that you guys can check out about how she, took down her Instagram, her Twitter, how there's allegedly maybe even a payment of like $200,000 to her to keep her quiet about the alleged assault. Now, I have no idea if that shit's real. Now, that would have, like, that story probably would be governing all that was going on with what's going on in hip-hop media today if it was not for what happened just a few hours after Dom put out that video. So I'm sure at some point 6ix9ine may have to deal with the case involving, or the situation involving his baby mama and everything. But let me explain something. A Fed case is a very, very different thing. And we don't see Fed cases being handed out in hip-hop very often, very lightly. For those of us who have been around long enough, we all remember when like DJ Drama got hit with a fucking Fed case for, pushing mixtapes, which seems insane now. We all remember when Irv Gotti got hit with it, and he was the fucking rare example who actually beat it. Bobby Shmurda is definitely the most recent example of someone within hip-hop who got hit with a fucking Fed case, and I believe he got 7 years, which when you're dealing with a Fed case, that's a slap on the wrist. That's like, they probably wanted a lot more than that, and that probably says that Bobby wasn't so involved that they could just make a lock shut case against him. This 6ix9ine situation, on the other hand, I'm going to be honest, and I'm not hating, because I do not want to see anybody go to jail. I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody who has been involved with No Jumper in any way, or has at all, like anybody I ever met. I would never wish jail on anyone. But this shit looks like he's going to jail for a long motherfucking time. So basically, when the charges came out last night, when it was first reported, Academics and Dom is Live, shout out to both of them for doing a lot of solid reporting about this. But they were saying that it was RICO charges and racketeering charges. So for those who don't know, those are basically the charges that they use to pick up people who are in the mob, shit like that. Basically, the charges describe, people who form a criminal organization to make money, and it sort of allows them to prosecute like the whole group, so it doesn't have to just be like you did this one crime, so therefore we're going to throw you in jail. No, it's kind of like, okay, you're part of a broader criminal organization that has been committing crimes. Well, okay, we're going to get you all, and it doesn't matter if you pulled the fucking trigger. You were part of it, you helped plan it, you were in any way involved with anything that was going on, you're fucked. So that's basically what they're hitting 6ix9ine with. And I mean, some of the stuff we've been expecting. We've heard about the shooting cases. And it's important to mention also that Shotty, his former manager, he fired. Was he fired like because of his performance, or was he fired because 6ix9ine saw this case coming? We don't know. But there's also another guy named Crippy who I'm not super familiar with. But, and I believe there's even more people past that. But, for those who don't know, 6ix9ine is associated with the 9 Trey Bloods out of New York, and Treyway is kind of like the company that stemmed from all that, right? So, and actually it's really insane because 6ix9ine, when he was on the Breakfast Club the other day, he kept saying, there's only 2 things I'm scared of: God and a Fed case. And I think he was even saying something about how he had seen a bunch of Feds parked outside his apartment in New York and shit. Basically, nobody knows, like the way, like nobody needs to tell 6ix9ine that a Fed case is a big deal, because he just went on camera repeatedly, and obviously he has advisors, he has OGs, whatever. He went on camera and he talked about how he was deathly afraid of catching a case from the feds. I mean, it's a big fucking deal. And a lot of people, it's hilarious to see people say, oh, this is bullshit because he has an album coming out on Thursday and this is just promo for that. Well, do you remember the last time that happened? Like the last time someone said that about 6ix9ine, they said that when he got kidnapped and jacked for his chains and everything, people tried to say that that was just promo because he had a new song coming out. And I'll admit that when I heard about that, it even occurred to me. I didn't actually come out and say it, but I was sitting there thinking like, are we going to trust this or is this just promo for the song? Let me tell you, this right here is not promo in any sense. And anyone who thinks that, if you see somebody saying that, well, they're officially too dumb to talk about rap music because this shit is no joke. The charges they're putting against him, I mean, some of this shit is almost kind of hard to believe. Like, some of the shit that they're saying about him is that he was, like, robbing rival gangs, like, robbing rival drug dealers with his boys, like, with Shoddy, allegedly. I mean, some of those shootings, like the shooting that allegedly took place at the Barclays, there was another video of a member of 6ix9ine's entourage allegedly shooting, like, on camera. Stuff like that. We've been waiting a while for those charges to pop up, and that stuff has seemed pretty inevitable that it was going to pop up for a while. But the stuff about him allegedly, like, robbing other drug dealers or other gangs or whatever, I mean, that shit is crazy as fuck. That shit's really shocking because, you know, you're thinking, 6ix9ine, you made it to this point in your career. Why the fuck would you be getting involved in anything stupid like that? Stupid like that. Well, here we go. Apparently, and you know, there's a part of me that is not surprised at all because think about it. 6ix9ine is just not the kind of dude that wants to be told what to do. And I could so totally see him just wanting to be down with all the bullshit that, like, say I was in a similar position and I just had a shitload of gangster dudes that I was hanging out with and I knew that they were going to go rob somebody or shoot somebody or do something fucked up. Guess what I would do? Not go. I would, like, very explicitly be like, yeah, I wouldn't even want to know about it, but I would be like, yo, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to stay here in the office because I'm, like, you know, grown and I have, like, a real business to run. I don't want anything to do with any sort of crime, violent crime, drug dealing, whatever like that. I would try to stay the fuck away from it. Now, 6ix9ine, could you see him making that mature of a decision? I could definitely see him going the other way and being like, nah, I'm going to ride along with you guys and I'm going to do whatever bullshit you guys got going on. Some of the other charges that they've been throwing at him are fucking insane too. And also, I want to say some of these charges apparently go all the way back to 2013. 2013, which, okay, 5 years, not that much. But when you're 6ix9ine and you were 16 5 years ago, I mean, that's fucking crazy because, I mean, he spoke pretty openly in his No Jumper interview about how he basically got picked up for selling heroin and he got arrested at some point for it. And one of the charges that's looped in here is something about selling heroin. Now, I don't know to what extent they might be coming at him for some shit that happened a long time ago. Like, I highly doubt that there's, like, a Fed case about him, like, selling heroin at the corner store. That's not really the kind of thing that I think the feds would want to put a lot of time into. But who knows what the fuck this guy was getting into? All we know is that we're probably going to find out a lot about what he's been getting into. And let me just put it this way. As a guy in the industry, a lot of times people want to tell me shit about certain people. Oh, this guy was involved with this. This guy did this. Let me just say, I've heard crazy shit about 6ix9ine that I kind of just ignored and was kind of just like, you know, whatever. If that's true, I guess I'll find out that it's true. Let's just say that some of the crazy shit that I've heard in the past that I never, ever would repeat in a million years that because I'm a respectable guy, some of that stuff sort of correlates to some of the bullshit that is going on in these indictments. So I don't know what the fuck to think about it. Let's just say my brain's fucking discombobulated by this whole thing because yesterday I thought that we were going to spend the whole week talking about this fucking abuse thing that Dom posted about. And now all of a sudden it seems that things are a lot more serious. So, hey man, you don't want to be a hot boy. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying is like, if you ever find yourself in a position where your career is skyrocketing, I mean, really, this has been quite the year for 6ix9ine. If you ever find yourself in a position where your career is skyrocketing, Here's my advice. If you ever find yourself even close to as hot as 6ix9ine has been this year, take a step back, step away from the fucking flames, because you don't want this bullshit. You don't want to end up in this kind of situation. If 6ix9ine had started popping off in his career and he had moved out to LA, boom, mansion in Calabasas, locked up, ain't nobody coming in, you know, he's got his friends coming over, whatever. Somehow I feel like he could have avoided a lot of this bullshit in these situations. Like, if you start blowing up, you don't have to start running around with a bunch of gang dudes. You don't have to start running around doing illegal shit, whatever. And keep in mind, it's possible that a lot of the stuff that they're going to get him for here is stuff that happened before he was even famous. Now, I believe a lot of it was definitely stuff that allegedly happened after he became famous. But I also believe there's a pretty good chance that he might end up having to deal with the consequences of some stuff that he did before he even really made it, which is kind of sad, kind of fucked up. You know, changed his life and then still face charges for shit that he might have done before. Also, I like this photo that TMZ's using here. He really looks like shit there. It's not very flattering of them to use it. Anyway, I mean, it's going to be crazy as fuck if we don't hear new music from this guy for a significant period of time. I mean, I know he has his album coming out any day now, but what if we don't? What if he gets 20 years and we don't hear from him for that whole? I mean, we're gonna hear from him either way. I mean, I'm sure this guy can figure out how to go viral from jail, but it's just a crazy ass thing to imagine that we might even have to face that scenario. Anyway, I don't know how much could really be done, but my best wishes are with this guy because he's gonna need it. NoJumper.com. Stay tuned. Crazy shit going down. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Adam22. NoJumper.com. Peace.